I want to come to you first, Jason, because the reality is, and you and I have chatted about this. It's easy to demonize the government because most people don't know what government agencies do, and they have a vague sense that when we pay our taxes, the government is wasting the money. So if you say, well, all this money went to foreign aid, people say, okay, good, cut that, because they really don't know what it is. But they seem to be at this sort of Doge, whatever it is, taking advantage of that by saying, we found all this waste, fraud, and abuse. And they're not proving it. They're just putting out a list of things they claim they're cutting.
Well, yeah, they have no proof because they never knew any of this stuff, right? I mean, the thing is, you have Elon Musk, who is running this organization, right? Let's not pretend that he's not running it. This whole sort of thing they're doing, this shaggy defense of it wasn't me, I'm not really running it. That doesn't really apply. He doesn't understand government. He has literally been the greatest welfare recipient from most governments for the last 5 to 10 years of his career. And so all he knows is that government pays him. He doesn't know what government actually does for regular people. So that has been a problem from the very beginning. It's one of the reasons people have been able to resist him. And it's one of the reasons that I think Democrats in general should be criticizing this much more aggressively, because the person who's actually running it doesn't even understand the government agencies that he's supposedly shaking up.
Right. And, Senator Jones, let me just go through some of the stuff. So the top Social Security officials stepped down after disagreements with DOJ over sensitive data. We're in the middle of tax season. The leader of the FDA food division is gone. I think we kind of need him. The Trump administration, they ousted more than 400 Department of Homeland Security employees in a workforce purge. I thought we needed Homeland Security, hundreds of FAA employees. That makes me feel very nervous to fly. Health agencies lose staff members in key areas. Then they try to hire people back. They get rid of people, and then they're running and scrambling to try to bring people back on because they really actually didn't need to get rid of them. And so now they're like, oh, hold on, USDA people who are trying to keep us from dying from our food. Can you please come back? And nuclear people, too? Like, they don't even understand who they're firing. Doug Jones.
No, Joy, it's a level of incompetence that we've never seen before in government. When Donald Trump first came in 2017, he at least had people around him that, as Jason said, understood government, understood the workings of government and what people in civil service do. These guys don't. They don't have a clue, and they think that just by cutting individuals, they're somehow cutting waste and abuse, and they're not. They're cutting out programs. They're cutting out not just the livelihoods of those individuals, but they're cutting out so many programs that are vital to so many Americans across this country, whether it is NIH grants, whether it's defense contract, you name it. It is really, truly an incompetent level of government. And to say that Elon Musk is not running the United States right now is really a fallacy. I mean, Donald Trump is just basically a yes man right now for everything that Elon Musk is doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to come back to that because Judge Chutkan, who will be familiar to y'all from her cases involving Donald Trump, has ruled. Let me stay with you for a minute, Doug Jones. I read through her order denying the request for plaintiff's relief, to a restraining order to make them stop. Some of the stuff that she said in here I thought was odd. Defendants have allegedly used this unfettered access and authority to terminate personnel, place entire agencies on temporary leave, transfer data to outside servers. But she somehow said because the things could happen but haven't happened yet, no relief, that essentially these states don't have a case. I don't understand it. Do you?
Yeah, Joy, look, the fact of the matter is that it appears that Judge Chutkan is actually following the law and the rules set. She said that these AGs didn't have standing yet. That's not to say that they won't have standing. This may not be just right just yet by these cuts. And the attorney generals may not be the ones to bring this case. Look, there's a lot of cases that are going to be filed out there. I think standing is always a problem. But look, I'm a big fan of Judge Chutkan for a lot of reasons.
Same.
And if she sees some issues, then you know that she's also not just answering the questions that is before us, she's also signaling to others that this is the way that you can get this done and abide by the rule of law, the thing that the Trump administration doesn't really care about, but do it appropriately. That's what she's signaling. Watch for these things to be amended or refiled by different parties.
This is why we love Doug Jones. You see how you look how you just talked me down. Look how you just did that so calmly. but the point, I guess the thing that is frightening about this, and I'm coming to you on this, Jason, is because it is asymmetric warfare.
Right.
One side believes in the rule of law, as Judge Chetkin clearly does. The other side does not. I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to play Jesse Waters on tonight. Let me play him because he made an admission that I think is actually kind of stunning about what we know is going to happen with this Doge website and all the self-selected stuff that's on there. Here's Jesse Waters explaining how this is going down.
We are waging a 21st century information warfare campaign against the left, and they are using tactics from the 1990s. What you're seeing on the right is asymmetrical. It's like grassroots guerrilla warfare. Someone says something on social media, Musk retweets it, Rogan podcasts it, Fox broadcasts it, and by the time it reaches everybody, millions of people have seen it.
So basically everything that's on that website, which they've selected, they've edited, we don't know any of it is verified, they're going to say, look, we saved $20 million here. And then, as Jesse Waters said, Rogan will repeat it, Fox will repeat it, and they put it through the information cycle. You know what's not going to be on there? How much did we spend to send Donald Trump to the Super Bowl or to the Indy 500? That ain't going to be on there.
They're also not going to have how much Musk gets in contracts. They're also not going to have all of Musk's bids, that every single inefficient thing he finds, he's just going to offer his own company as a private contractor to fix the same issues like what they're doing with the FAA. But here's the thing, Joy, and we always have this sort of conversation about information warfare. We're in such silos now. I don't even know if what Jesse Waters admitted to is as effective as he thinks it is. First off, who's watching Jesse Waters, right? Real talk. I mean, he has certain numbers, but no one's accidentally stumbling onto him. No one's accidentally stumbling onto Joe Rogan. I think a lot of this is being amplified in the silos that people are in. Right. The real value right now, the opportunity for resistance, is the large number of people who've tuned out. The large number of people who are upset, who are waiting to have someone break through the nonsense and tell them, by the way, your grandma is not going to get that free meal anymore in North Dakota because they pulled back in funding. By the way, your daughter is not going to be able to go to school this fall because they pulled back the funding. By the way, who here feels safe flying like you and I are talking about? That's the opportunity to break through, because those are real things people are feeling, regardless of what podcasts are listening to.
And that is an excellent point, because, there are existing conservative audiences, Doug Jones, that already are going to just get the feedback loop of, look, they're cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. They're going to show up in the trolling, of liberals. They're going to show up in your comment sections. But no new people get added, because in local news, they're going to hear about the farmer that was doing USAID based on grants, was sending money to, someplace in, Bulgaria. But they don't have that anymore. The universities that are losing research funding because that research funding happened to come from USAID, et cetera. This is going to hurt a lot of people, including in red states. And they're going to find out about it not through Jesse Waters.
No, that's absolutely right. But I'm so glad you played that clip from Jesse Waters, because it tells you part of the problem that I think Democrats have had, and that is we've not kept up with the technology to get messages out, the good things that we're doing. We're getting defined by all of those voices on the right, and we're not talking about this. The one thing I disagree with Jesse about is that we're not using 1990 technology. Hell, we're using 1890 technology, and we're getting nowhere. Jason just nailed it. We have got to be able to go to places where people are. People are not tuning into news anymore. They're getting information and they're getting entertainment, and we're not going there. And until Democrats, we can talk about messaging all we want to, but until we start reaching people who are really have tuned out to politics, don't care about politics, are getting information in different sources in different places, it's not going to matter, because we are getting defined in ways that make the Democratic brand somewhat toxic.
Jason?
We had 2 weeks of conversation because someone got so frustrated about Medicare that they committed a crime. Right? That's what breaks through. It may be sad. It may be upsetting. Yes, Luigi. That's what ends up breaking through. Who's still breaking through. I'm not saying violence. Obviously, no one encourages violence, but you can break through with unique action. You can, as a resistance, break through and say, we're going to do a thing that nobody expects. We're going to show up at a building that nobody expects us in. We're going to push our way into this building. We're going to stand here with 27 different healthcare workers who are helping veterans, and we're going to stand here all day until the local news sees me, until the local blogger sees me. There are ways to break through. You have to stop using the same silos.
There are